Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new episode of The Catch-All, Constantly Calibrating's weekly news show. You might ask, weekly, but you didn't do a show last week. Well, yeah, life got busy and mistakes were made. We're going to continue making this a weekly show. Just sometimes, something happened and hopefully we were able to alert you guys well enough. But that being said, this week, a lot of big news. So we're only going to tackle 3 news stories. So that means we're not going to be tackling the voice actor strike. It's pretty fresh, pretty new, even though it's been talked about for the last year. So hopefully we'll be able to talk about that on a future episode of The Catch-All. And the same goes potentially for all the DDoS attacks, the denial of service stuff that happened throughout today, Friday, the day of recording. We may talk about more on next week's show. Hopefully they'll be tackled more on next week, this coming week's podcast, but they were tackled, or at least the voice actor stuff was tackled on this past week's podcast, so you can go listen to and watch that over youtube.com/concalpod. That being said, The Catch-All, our weekly news show, have some fun stories. We have some titles for you of the upcoming topics. We have some cowboy-related stuff, speaking of High Noon, and do not switch that channel. Yeah, you can figure out what that one is going to be about. Okay. After a few days of delicate teasing and toying with all of our emotions, Rockstar Games finally came out with a trailer for the much-anticipated and expected follow-up to 2010's Red Dead Redemption. The short teaser trailer showed off some impressive-looking scenery, also buffalo. Lots and lots of buffalo. The game is set to release sometime in the fall of 2017, and on top of that, Sony has announced that PS4 users are getting their first crack at select online content. So what we know about Red Dead Redemption 2 at this point is pretty limited. The trailer was quite beautiful, but it didn't really give us a lot of information. Personally, at Constantly Calibrating here, I love that aspect, but I know other members of my team not so fond of that. They feel like there should have been more information, but Rockstar is known for giving out these little, scene-by-scene teasers and giving us a lot more meat later on. We're gonna see more, but what we know right now is they're planning for a multiplayer aspect similar to GTA Online is our understanding, and then we're getting kind of this Magnificent Seven feel with the characters. Again, we went into that with our hypothetical feelings and thoughts and rumor mill stuff when we did the podcast this past week, and we'll talk more in depth about that next week as well. All I know is I'm still wondering what marketing person just decided that brand recognition of the word redemption was more important than continuing building from Red Dead Revolver to Red Dead Redemption to, some people suggested Rampage, some people suggested Revenge. There were a lot of good R words out there. I thought Retribution was actually a really good thing. Red Dead Retribution just rang in my head. But that's life. We have Red Dead Redemption 2 to look forward to sometime late next year. Blizzard's massively successful online shooter Overwatch has recently hit a high note with some very awesome, unannounced Halloween-flavored content, but at the same time, they've also kind of shit the bed on something that players have been looking forward to for a long time. After several months of hard work in an ARG and waiting for some third-world country's ISP to finish uploading a percentage counter, players were hoping to get some modicum of information on the shadowy character Sombra. What they got was, well, nothing really yet. Some possible Morse code, some newspapers in Spanish, nothing really else. Hopefully soon we'll be able to find out more about the first alleged stealth character in the game, but until then we've been left scrutinizing every blip and boop that seems out of place. This is not a drill, people. Earlier this week, Nintendo released footage of their next console. Although it seems like they're still not showing all of their hand, what they have shown off seems to allow players to seamlessly switch from a standard console to a handheld gaming device to a portable multiplayer experience and then back again. On top of more transformations in the Michael Bay film collection, they've also recruited a very heavy-hitting roster of development studios and publishers, including behemoths such as Bethesda, Activision, and Square Enix, more than doubling the support shown towards the Wii U when it was first announced. Now, we really don't know what these developers are going to be bringing. We saw Skyrim in the trailer, but Bethesda's not opening up about that. We saw an NBA 2K game, but 2K is not opening up about that. And let's be fair here, the Wii U showed off at least 3 games to our knowledge from what we've seen in their Wii U early trailers. They never went anywhere. We never saw them ever on the Wii U. So don't trust the games you see immediately. They are examples. Skyrim is a good example because the remaster of Skyrim is coming out. So, Bethesda probably just wanted to get their hand in as a little nudge to remind people of the game. It's kind of a marketing thing, obviously. So we don't know a lot about the Switch at this point. We all have theories. We'll go into more details in the Constantly Calibrating podcast, which you can watch live this Monday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to go into all the details, have a full team discussing everything we saw, some reactionary stuff, all that fun stuff. And we're going to obviously keep you updated as more information about the Switch comes out as we hear it. That being said, thank you for tuning into the Catch-All. I know this is going to be a bit of a shorter episode, but timing is just a little off here, constantly calibrating, as we're preparing for Extra Life. Yes, today, this morning, we announced our plans for Extra Life. Simply put, from November 5th at 8 a.m. Pacific time till November 6th at 8 a.m. Pacific time. That's right, 25 hours, we will be doing a stream out of my office studio here at Constant Calibrating Studios. Might do something in this office, but we're actually be doing out in the living space. That being said, we have myself and Thad guaranteed hosting from here for most of the time. We're going to have other people coming in. We're going to have our East Coast team, our British team. We're going to be having everyone taking part in some way, shape, or form. Plus, we're going to have guests from the local Arizona cosplay committee and entertainment community out here. And we're working on other special guests, sponsorships, you name it. We're going to be giving you guys giveaways. So all you have to do is go to constantcalibrating.com/extralife. And yeah, it'll be somewhere in here. And you can go donate for us, help us raise money. I know myself and Thad at this point are raising money for Phoenix Children's Hospital. Brad and Ryan, who are also on there, are raising for one of their local hospitals. It's a great charity. We believe in it, and we want you guys to believe in it too. So please, let's see what we can do. Let's do it for the kids. We're going to have a lot of fun. We have a lot of great plans. We just want you guys to be there for it and help us do this awesome thing. Help us have fun. That being said, you can catch the Catch-All every single Saturday. Hopefully, sorry about last week again, on youtube.com/concalpod. But with that, we bid you good sign off.